story, you won't believe it. This is Bunny Fuller Harris's story. And maybe y'all already know it. I'll just pass it on. No, this is worth telling everybody. Taylor County Lady Vikings. We're not going to get through until 9 o'clock. They don't blame me for that, so don't calm down. Well, I love the fact we've got somebody from Taylor County who is coming in. From 1967 through 1972, the Taylor County Lady Vikings won 132 straight games and 5 state championships. It's the 4th most history. It's kind of compared to what Valdosta did back when they were football. And of course, the coach there was Coach Norman Carter, 2000 inductee into this Hall of Fame. He led the way, but he said his greatest player at Taylor County, Bunny Fuller Harris. She had a personal 100-game winning streak out of those 132. She averaged 22 points per game in her career, 2,200 points altogether in her high school career. And in her 10th grade season, she averaged almost 30 points per game. Unbelievable. By the way, how did that 132-game win streak get snapped? She fell out. Right? She fell out. And that was the way that Perry beat the Lady Vikings. She went on into the Middle Georgia College, helped them win the JUCO state title, then off to UGA from 74 to 76, and for Georgia's first ever winning season, she was the leading scorer, almost 19 points per game. How good was the team at Taylor? Well, Bunny wrote a book about the team called There Was Once a Team. It was a heck of a team, that's for sure. The AJC actually listed the Taylor County Girls Dynasty as the 6th best in the state of Georgia's history, and she still calls Butler, Georgia home, and another home for Bunny is now in the Georgia Sports Hall.
Butler native Bunny Fuller Harris grew up with a basketball always nearby. As a young teen, she groomed her game to be ready for the famed Taylor County varsity squad. Taylor County featured Coach Norman Carter, a Georgia Sports Hall of Fame inductee, and his teams were known for their toughness and their skill. When Bunny arrived for her freshman season in 1968, the Lady Vikings were the defending state champions and sporting a 32-game winning streak. Fuller fit right in. The Lady Vikings ripped off 30 straight wins and took the state championship, beating Cave Spring. In her sophomore campaign, Bunny averaged 30 points a game as Taylor County ran off another 30-game winning streak, knocking off Stratford for the state crown. When the Lady Vikings went undefeated the next season, they had now notched 124 straight wins and won 4 straight state titles. Fuller Harris entered her senior season having never lost a game. In early 1972, the streak reached 132, but came to a screeching halt at the hands of the Perry Lady Panthers. Taylor County rebounded to beat Haralson County for their 5th straight state championship. Bunny finished her career with over 2,200 points, then headed for more basketball at Middle Georgia College. After 2 years, she transferred to Georgia, leading the Lady Bulldogs in scoring at almost 19 points per game. In 1976, she was named Female Athlete of the Year at UGA. Fuller Harris penned a book, There Was Once a Team, recounting her time at Taylor County and the 132-game winning streak. And tonight, the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame is proud to induct into their class of 2026 Bunny Fuller Harris.
Being a member of the class of 26 is a great honor. I had the privilege of playing basketball for the Taylor County Lady Vikings, a team that made history with 132 consecutive wins from 1967 to 72. And when I think back to that small gym in Taylor County, where my basketball career began, I am just amazed. How did a group of ordinary teenage girls become such an extraordinary team? I'm thankful to God that I came along at the right time to play in every game from my freshman year to my senior year. Win 100 games straight along the way and state championships every year in high school. Here tonight from those teams are Sissy Martin, Judy Bland, Sandra Arnold, Kathy Davis, and Kathy Goddard. These ladies and I set a state record that will probably never be broken. And I'd like to ask those ladies to stand and be recognized. None of this would have been possible without the great coach, Norman Carter. He instilled in us high school girls the knowledge of basketball fundamentals, the teamwork that make it possible, and the belief that we could get the job done even in the face of adversity. When Coach told me he was nominating me for this honor, I laughingly said, "No way, Coach, that'll never happen." But then he proceeded to convince me that I was deserving, and here I am, a part of this induction ceremony. After my high school years in Taylor County, I had the opportunity to play in college in the infancy of women's basketball. First at Middle Georgia College in Cochran, and then at the University of Georgia. And that experience increased my love of the game because I feel like we paved the way for the girls and women of today before Title IX came along and expanded all those opportunities. So thank you to the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame for preserving the stories of athletes and coaches who've made an impact on this state. And thank you to everyone who wrote letters on my behalf. You're all a part of this moment. I would like to thank my family, my daughter Katie and son-in-law Ryan, including my sweet granddaughter, little Sarah Grace, who's maybe a basketball star of the future. And especially Mark, my husband of 44 years, and is watching us from heaven. So as I accept this tonight, I do so on behalf of every Taylor County Lady Viking who laced up her shoes, and in honor of Coach Norman Carter. Thank you.